What's up, YouTube? It's Todd Horst here with Tasty Tracker. Just wanted to give a quick update on the small account challenge. Today I closed out the AMGN position and opened up a Microsoft position. And I took a small loss. It was about 20 bucks on the AMGN position. So if we go over to the chart here, we can see I closed it out probably, it wasn't the low of the day, so it was up in here somewhere. We're sitting at a pretty good support right here, so that made me question the position a little bit more. The other thing was I was sort of hedging the market in case we had another retest down here, just generally in the market. And I don't believe that we will, and I also had, that was too large of a position to be hedging. You should only be hedging with a small portion of your account, and I'd sized that position the same as my main position, so I didn't like that. I'm not bearish. Even if we do get a bit of a retracement on this stock, I don't think we'll go too much lower. Probably 220 would be the lowest we'll hit, but you can see the down here on the MACD, it's getting a little bit along the tooth right here. It's been consolidating for a while, and so I generally believe that this stock and in the market in general is sort of range bound for maybe the next 2 weeks or so. I've been saying this for a couple weeks now, that I expected to hold at SPY to hold from 260 to 280, and it still is around that area. Obviously we're at 95, I think, right now. Yeah, 95. So I think we're getting ready to break out of this range that we've been trading in here for the past couple weeks. So instead of waiting and hoping that this position comes back around, and maybe it will, maybe it won't. It still had plenty of time left, 31 days. But I thought it would be better to lose $20 and move on with my life with a position I believe in more than this one, than to hope and pray and then end up losing a lot more than $20. I was looking at 218. So anyway, so I closed that out for a fill of 218. We can come over here, and in my history, we can see I closed that out, and then yeah, it was around 10:22 this morning for a net loss of $24 after commissions. So again, not a big deal. I would consider that a scratch. And then Microsoft here, I opened up instead. Now this Microsoft position, I had to really push here. So let's go in. That filled at 233, and you can see my buying power is only at $14. So I didn't have a whole lot of capital to work with. The collateral needed for this position is 267. And let me go to the strikes specifically. Okay, so right now it's 61%. When I opened it, it was about 60% chance in the money. And normally I like to be at 40 or 30%, so I would have ideally gotten the 180 or the 175 as the sold leg, and then bought the 170. But if we do that here, that's 120, and so I would have needed 380 in collateral, and I only had 280, so I was $100 short of having enough collateral. So instead of doing what I normally like to do, I pushed it up here to the 60% chance in the money, but it does give me 60 days to hit that. And then looking at the number, realistically speaking, it needs to get to above 190. And at the time we were trading at 186, now we're at 185. So to come up $5 seems fairly reasonable in 60 days. However, If we go over here, the high was right around 191. So so that is pushing it pretty close, considering I sold the 190. That means it has to hit, it has to hit the pre-crash highs and hold there. And we're already really close. So it depends what happens here in the next couple of weeks. If the market wants to hold this area, then I think I'll be fine. If it does decide it wants to take a bit of a dip or consolidate longer, which again, I don't think it will, but if it does, that position could be a little bit iffy. But that's July, so I have the whole way out to here in order for that position to be above this level. So anyway, I feel much more comfortable being bullish. I started off as a bear when I started trading a couple years ago, and I quickly got burnt and sort of took the stance that going forward I would either be bullish or at least long term, and then my second preference is to not play at all, and my third preference then would be to play a bearish position, but I would rather just sit out and wait for opportunities that I think are coming around. So what led me to Microsoft? First of all, I'm very bullish on Microsoft. They've had a bit of a dip here, and that's starting to weaken. And again, with the market in general consolidating, and you can see Microsoft has been specifically consolidating in this range for the past couple of weeks. I think everything is on the cusp of getting ready to break out. Again, that's just my opinion. So in summary, I closed a bearish position that I opened that was too large to begin with. I took a small loss of $25 or so, and I opened up a bullish position in Microsoft, who I am more confident in. If we take a quick look at the portfolio, let's check everything but SPY. That's what I'm looking at for the next 2 months. If we take off LRCX, that's a September position. This is what I'm looking at for June and July, and the only thing I have coming up for June actually is Costco. Yep, Costco. So that one is sitting with a very nice margin here. It's getting close to 20% here on a good day, but I have a closing order set for 50% as usual. Microsoft, you can see how aggressive that is compared to my normal positions, and Apple also was an aggressive position when I put it on, and it's basically sat at that point since then. Yeah, so that's 320 that it has to get above, and right now it's 315. So both the Apple and the Microsoft position are $5 away from, being profitable. So for July, in and of itself, I have Apple and Microsoft, and you can see the payoff diagram there. Anyway, I think I've talked enough for this one. If you have any questions, let me know, and I'll talk to you next time.